Welcome to the 2011 Ontario Volleyball Championships here at Rim Park in Waterloo. I'm your host, Danielle DeGraaf. Up next, we have the Kitchener-Waterloo Predators versus the Renfrew County Knights. And you know, you'd think that the KW Preds would be comfortable playing on home court, and they will be, honestly, but I wouldn't count out Renfrew County. They've had to travel quite a bit to get here, so fatigue you'd think that might be a factor, but that's going to be a factor for both teams. And I think going into this tournament, one of the things that's going to carry you through to Sunday is your conditioning from the beginning of the year up until now. Off the court training, like running and all those types of things, and your hydration and eating throughout the tournament is going to take you through until Sunday. Now, the guys that are going to take you through to this game would be Russ and Chris. Russ? Chris?
Thanks, Danielle. Chris alongside Russ here, bringing you the action. It's the Kitchener-Waterloo Predators against the Renfrew County Knights Volleyball Club. It's the Preds in purple and the Knights in their black Knights. The black and white to our left, your right, and the Kitchener-Waterloo Predators in purple to our right, your left, and we get things started with Robin Meisner serving for the Kitchener-Waterloo Predators, wearing number 13.
This could be a match of similar teams. They both a little undersized, good defense, strong middle attacks. So we'll see how it goes. Ball set way too far inside. And already we're seeing good defense.
Braley Severn dumps the ball out of bounds there, giving the Kitchener-Waterloo Predators the first point of the game.
Kitchener looks a little taller at the net right now.
Robin Meisner back for her second serve. Dumps it over to the Knights.
Well, that's going to be called. No, I guess not.
And she hammers it into the open court. That's 15.
5. Shannon Neville.
Oh, 5, sorry.
Was a nice overbump. When the ball is put on the net like that, the Predators probably will have the advantage because of their size, and they'll score a lot of cheap points, as we saw right there. Renfrew has to keep the ball off the net. Great defense from Ladone. There's a block
nice
again.
Block, the team block there for 5 and 6.
Lafreniere is a regional player, probably their premier player for Renfrew County, but that was a death set. The ball was set right on top of the net, and Shannon Neville was all over that.
Katie McClay also up on the block there, wearing number 6 for the Predators. Nice bump by Moda.
Set of bounds. But she's calling touch. Okay.
Line judge calls the touch there. Right.
We're seeing right now that the Predators are just smooth, and Renfrew County is just not running an attack right now, and they are known to have a strong middle attack, but they're not passing, and consequently the setter, number 12, Victoria Clark, is just not able to run it very well. They've only had one opportunity. So it's already 4-0 for KW. This is a 1700 Kitchener Predator team. You're younger.
Yeah, two Predator teams.
That's really nice defense by Sydney Chrismatic. She plays a little high, but she recognized that ball was above her waist, and she just threw it out of bounds. Matthew Monich, the Renfrew coach, is not a happy camper, so they've been just uncharacteristically for them weak on defense, and they're not running on offense. We're seeing Paul Pavin. Reminds me of Phil Jackson of the Lakers, sort of like the elder statesman, kind of running a seminar.
Or a much thinner Drew Carey with those glasses, maybe.
Well, Paul will be flattered by when you call him much thinner.
Predators off to a brilliant start, 5-0. Renfrew County not impressed right now. The coach is letting his team know the passes have to be on, and they have to be a lot better. Yeah. And he hopes that's going to happen as they come out of this timeout. The Predators are already out waiting. Robin Meisner, 5 straight points off her serve.
The problem with the Predators may be that right now that they may get a little too casual. They're winning so easily right now. They're happy. They're smiling. But as we know in volleyball, things can change very, very quickly. I'm sure Paul wants Robin to continue to serve tough. Nice pass.
They go to the power position, and two Predators go for it. That's Moda and Chrismanich.
But as you notice, Shannon Neville, the middle blocker of Predators, went with the step around, fake, and it was number 8, Braley Severin had a better chance to score with that.
Coming over here. Shannon Loden goes up for it. That's out of bounds.
The coach is not happy with Victoria Clark right now. The setter's must get the second ball. I think Victoria got blocked out by one of her players, and then the ball just fell, which is really too bad for Renfrew.
Yeah, and he wasn't happy that she didn't call for help either. You could hear him yelling, help, help, help. And the play stopped with the ball on the court. Coming over from another game in action.
A lot of coaches don't like that. I mean, it's the setter's job to get the second ball. When she calls help, that means other people need to become involved, and it becomes confusing later on in the match. She's just getting the habit. The setter just has to take that ball.
The Knights get the serve back. Now the coach having a talk with his setter, Clark. See the libero 5 there wearing purple. She is part of the Knights, not the Predators. It's the libero color for them. There's Loden with a big hammer down on the power spot for the Preds.
So right now we're seeing Candace Scott come into the game. She had a big match in the earlier match that we did when they played Kingston, and she's a very good middle player. Right now it looks like there's a smaller front row now here for Renfrew.
That's number 3, Thalia Hanneman, putting it long off the power spot.
Again, when the setter, Victoria Clark, has to push the ball outside. When that ball's set inside and you've got blockers, right now they've got 2 good blockers in Ladone and Candace Scott for Kitchener. It's very difficult for a hitter to hit an inside set against a double block, and she tries to do something different and just hit it out of bounds.
Shannon Neville with the serve. Comes her down to Braley Severin. And they can't form an attack out of it as the Predators get yet another point. Coach is upset of Renfrew that they're beating themselves here as Neville throws another serve. And speaking of beating herself, she puts it into the net. Yeah, shakes her head in disappointment as she subs out for the libero.
Shannon Neville has a very good, again, jump flat serve. But this coach for Renfrew County is, so I'm not saying he's hyper, but he's really agitated. And I'm not sure if that's good for kids sometimes. I don't think the Renfrew kids have to be told that they're messing up. It's trouble. So there's where size really hurts. That was not a particularly good set. The ball was set on top of the net, but Ladone went right over the block and just pounded it down.
Ladone now back to serve. A jump serve. Puts her to Braley Severin, who can't handle it again as her teammates go over to console her. She's not feeling too good right now.
Again, we're in a situation where it's 10-3 for Kitchener, but they really haven't done an awful lot. They've just played basic, solid volleyball, which they always do. But Renfrew is just not helping themselves at all. Oh, my goodness.
Although there's some not helping yourselves.
Well, the blocker, Candace Scott, it's the old rule, never do nothing. She didn't get off the net and she didn't block. And the ball landed right behind her.
As number 4, Sorka David back to serve. A nice tip there by Candace Scott for the Preds.
A nice job by Chris Mattis to get that over the net.
Oh, a nice tip by Thalia Hanneman down over in the power spot for Renfrew.
Paul Pavin is not a happy camper right now. Renfrew has been scoring on a lot of tips and off just over the block. The wingers need to play better defense to be in the better position.
Renfrew County's head coach wants his team to make decisions faster. Heads up. That one's over at our table there. Over at the score table from the next team.
We see the beach element and also the element where you're allowed to use the volley on the first contact, and they do a lot of blocking with their hands right now, and it's hard to control that.
That one off the shoulder.
Yeah.
She comes up, makes the play. That's Thalia Hanneman. A big hammer down by Katie McClay with authority on that one.
She swings hard. And number 6, Taylor DeCare, just not able to block her.
15, Krzmanich back for the Preds. She's got that stutter step before the jump serve. That one's dumped back deep by Thalia Hanneman. There's McClay again with a hammer off the block. A second point in a row for her. She's having a great game thus far.
Well, you can't accuse her of being passive. That's for sure. She gets her money's worth with every swing, doesn't she? She likes to pound.
You don't see many tips. That's for sure from her.
The true Terminator. When she hits the ball, the rally's over one way or the other.
Yeah.
She makes sure of that.
Krzmanich, her third serve. Comes a little stutter step. There it is.
They're finally getting some good offense. Oh, great block.
Great blocking there. As 3 dumps her back. Krzmanich again. And like you said, Katie McClay goes for the attack, and the point is over as she puts it.
It was a good choice,
yeah,
right down the line, but
going for the line.
She just missed it. As a power rater, sometimes you over-rotate when you try to change your hit.
Oh, but number 3, Hanneman. Talked about her early on in this game. She puts it into the net, gives the serve right back to the Preds.
The Predators will not give you points. And right now, Renfrew County, as a coach, is indicating they're just killing themselves right now with mistakes. Another error.
And there the Preds get a point as Renfrew County puts it long.
But again, the Victoria Clark is just setting the ball way too inside. And the hitters it's really tough on the hitters to have to whack at the ball like Braley right there, trying to whack at a well-formed block when you don't have much of an angle.
Taylor DeCare acting as a setter right now for Renfrew.
Yeah.
Had a few balls come close to our table.
There's Shannon Ladone on the screen right now. She's at Katie McClay at the net, waiting for this for the next rally.
Danielle Giroux in the game now for Renfrew in place of Hanneman.
It's good to see though. Kitchener's has a big lead right now, but they're still practicing locations on their serves. Candace is practicing their short serve, just missed it.
Rachel Mones leads the game for Renfrew. In is Jenna Yaroskavich. She'll be serving. Sloppy play there at the net, but gets back into form here as we have a back row attack. Shannon Loden puts it out of bounds.
Everything the Predators did there was correct. They just missed it. Renfrew County needs, it's 17-8, and Renfrew County needs to set goals here. The game is pretty well out of reach, but they have to say we may want to get to 15 before they get to 25. That kind of thing to get them for next game. That's a nice middle attack. But they need to break this game into this match into chunks. And right now, they see if they can score more points, 8 more points in Kitchener in the next, just to get ready for the second game. They can't just let the game wear out on them like they are right now.
Robin Meisner, an excellent server, back to serve for the Preds. She dumps it over. Middle attack,
perfect.
Back corner.
Well done by
Lefreniere.
Yeah.
Lefreniere.
She's a showcase player, regional player for Region 3, I think it is, or 6, I'm sorry. Nice ball into the back corner.
Here we have Taylor DeCare back, serving. Right to the libero, that's number 9, Marissa Moda. 13's going to dump it over, that's Danielle Giroux. Moda again with the initial dig. And the Preds standing around watching each other, weren't sure who to go for. That's 15 and 6, Katie McClay and Sydney Krzmanich. Weren't too sure who was going to take that one, and the coach is not happy. Exasperating a wow.
It's one of those situations where either one of them could have played it, but nobody called it.
Yeah, they weren't sure who was going to take it. There they knew Krzmanich went for it. Unable to come up with the dig.